Rebel King, nuclear energy and cancer. So imagine this new perspective and take it down to where it's important, to where it relates to the replication of matter into radiation and uranium and nuclear energy. At the moment, they're saying you can get a uranium-235, I think, that emits 3 neutrons. Now, a neutron doesn't exist. It's a neutral charge thing, entity. So there is a perspective, in my perspective, where neutrons don't exist. They're merely perceptual. Perception is where you stand to look back and do the measuring from. It's a neutral position to measure from. Do you see, like a rest mass, rest time, rest energy? So instead of 3 neutrons being created, what's actually happening is it's split into 3. So it was 1, and now it's become 3. Normally it becomes, cells split and become 2. That's the natural route. Here we're getting 3. It's why uranium is so useful as an energy. So it's a property of uranium-235. And that makes more sense in terms of how the energy then works, because if what's happening when we're doing that heating inside the shell, the cylinder shell, with the cool outside and the relatively cool outside and the austenitic maximum density center, if matter is being created, it's getting hotter, and that's where the density is coming from, because it's creating matter through the action of heat density, which is correct in terms of the reality model that we've built. Now take that to cancer and see the same thing happening. It's energy creating matter, replicating itself. So the energy is corrupted, the message is corrupted. There's an encoding problem here. When you're taking in information, you're taking it in from the outside in the form of DNA, nitrogen. If that DNA is corrupted, which it is, it will cause corruption inside you, inside proteins. And if a cell picks up the message to echo the new reality that's been created by the nuclear energy, it will just make matter. Malignancy is just a cell goes mad and just keeps replicating itself. So it's copying the reality that we've created in nuclear energy. Wow. Well, so that's an interesting shift, isn't it? And it makes sense that matter is just created through the action of energy, because that's what we are, and it answers who we are and what we are and why we were created, and all these big questions start to become much more likely to be solved and understood and discussed from the right perspective, when we take this perspective that the neutrons don't exist, that we exist, and that the manipulation of energy creates matter. There you go. So new world, close. Physics is feeling a pressure cooker underneath it. It's just going to blow. At some point, it's going to blow. Now, 100 years, who cares? We have all the time in the world. Time enough for love. Love rules. Do the work. Cheers.